This is Josh. I am a friend of Stingley's. I've been a friend of Evans for a while, actually. Past 6 years. I don't know what to say.
You could have just said your name.
I
But,
don't know,
all right.
I don't know what you're because once we get into the conversation, I'm gonna get what like
No, just,
be able to talk, but like I don't know like what you.
so today we are discussing WandaVision. It just wrapped up today, episode 9. So we're just going to share our thoughts on it. So let me pull up my notes. Do you have anything that just stands out immediately, Josh?
I really did enjoy the series. I think that it was a good way to start out Phase 4. And I think we were talking about that earlier, how it was kind of convenient for Disney to have a pandemic and have stuff already lined up. But I think it was a good way to start Phase 4. Honestly, coming into the series, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I do enjoy those characters. I do enjoy like Scarlet Witch, who's officially the Scarlet Witch.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned coming into the series because the first 2 episodes, I knew it was going to be just a straight up sitcom, but like those first 2 episodes had me like, I dead ass just watch a sitcom.
Exactly. Yeah, it was weird because it was like I was not sure what to expect going in because I was thinking like I saw like the trailers for it and I saw like it was supposed to be like, oh, it's kind of like this sitcom slash like basically like a sitcom slash TV show that was not necessarily going to be like a comic book story like starting out. And so like I watched the first 2 episodes and I'm just sitting there like, why am I watching just like them just live everyday life? I was expecting some crazy stuff to happen, but I definitely think that like as the series progressed, it set a really good foundation like going into Phase 4 because I was looking at it, I'm just like there's so many different plot lines and so many different character arcs that can be built from this, so I'm really excited to see where it goes from there.
Oh, so since we're talking about where it goes from there, what do you? Let's start with the first. Well, was it the first one? The first after credit one with Wanda. What do you? There was an after credit scene. She was in a cabin. Did you watch that part?
I watched it a while ago, so I'm trying to like re-jog my memory about the cabin scene. Yeah, I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
The newest episode.
Oh, the newest episode.
You didn't get that? It was a after credit scene. She was in like a cabin or whatever. And then there was like one Wanda, and then there was another Wanda like speed reading the fucking grimoire or the book or whatever.
Oh, the only one I saw, the only after credit scene I saw after
It's a Marvel. It's a Marvel.
I saw one after credit scene before your TV cut off, so I had to try to get back to it. But yes, the one after credit scene I saw was the one with the Skrulls and Monica. I thought that was kind of interesting looking at that.
Do you think they're gonna make that a TV show or a movie or what?
I think that they could, but they have to flesh it out more because I think Monica Rambeau, she has a really interesting character. Like, obviously, from going into the Hex, she's developed some type of, like, special abilities. But at the same
In the comic, she was Captain Marvel for a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, like, figure out how they're going to kind of beef up that character and kind of flesh her out more as far as where she fits within the MCU, which is my biggest thing with like Phase 4. After like you see the Infinity Gauntlet saga, you see like how are they supposed to find different places for different characters. Like there was a reason we had an Iron Man, there was a reason we had a Captain America, there's a reason we have a Thor and a Hulk, but then like all those other like they're not other Avengers, but they're like outside of like the big the B-listers. So like, and I think that Phase 4 is going to do a really interesting job in like making those characters and pushing those characters to the forefront.
I think that's what the TV shows are for, though.
Yeah,
because nobody really cared about Wanda and Vision until this TV show.
That's what I was going to say earlier. Like they obviously like most people, when you say, "Oh, who's your favorite Avenger?" they're not gonna say, "Oh, Scarlet Witch." They're not gonna say Vision.
If somebody before this TV show, if somebody said Vision, I was like, "All right, you're full of shit."
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
you just want to be different. There's no way.
Like, oh,
Vision is your favorite.
Name his complete discography right now.
Yeah, but, for real.
Like, I definitely think that it's going to be interesting going into Phase 4, seeing how different characters that were, kind of in the background are going to be pushed to the forefront, and how they're going to be built to lead the new MCU. Especially when you talk about, like, the Avengers, where you have people like the Falcon and Winter Soldier taking up that Captain America mantle. You see kind of Spider-Man trying to go into the steps of Tony Stark. Not quite Tony Stark, but trying to go into the steps of a Tony Stark. I just think that's going to be interesting to see how people get placed into the spotlight. And I think that WandaVision definitely did a good job of that, of showing that these characters' stories are important, even though they weren't as important before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of upset you didn't see that last credit scene, because that was a lot to unpackage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Because I feel like it could set her up to be a villain, or or maybe it was teasing the multiverse a little bit, because at the end, you hear, like, I forgot which kid it was, but you hear, like, the kid's voice.
Mm-hmm.
So my theory is maybe she's reading through that book and maybe going through the multiverse or something, looking for a version of her children that do actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about this before, where you thought, like, the kids were going to stick.
I thought that the kids and Vision were going to stick.
And I still think Vision's I said, no, the Vision is back.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids, I was like, there's no way she's going to have the kids and Vision, because then, like, she just didn't learn her fucking lesson.
Yeah,
like, she didn't agree.
Point, yeah.
I was like, I'm not a writer, but I've been around the block a few times. Yeah. There's always got to be some type of lesson.
Like, you got to learn something from this situation.
So you're telling me she didn't go through the grieving process at all, and she got her husband back, and now she got 2 kids. Nah, it's
too good to be true.
That's a terrible story.
But yeah, like, with her kids, that's my main thing I was thinking about. With them being gone, I think they did an interesting job of kind of subverting people's expectations, because definitely when I saw Evan Peters pop on screen, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like doing this like interdimensional or universal like connections where she can just bring somebody from another dimension. It's like, no,
Marvel knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
too.
Evan Peters is just some regular guy that's been possessed. Like, I'm like,
what was his real name in the show?
Andy,
something
Boner. Yeah, Boner. I'm like, bro, come on.
I was like, Marvel was some fucking trolls.
Yeah, that was petty on their part.
They knew as soon as we saw him, everybody was going to go to the internet with their fan theories, and it worked. And I'm upset. I
got played. I got played,
man.
But yeah, I think that they definitely or the writers definitely did a good job of trying to show how Wanda is trying to grow as herself instead of being an Avenger. Because when you look at it, throughout her time with the Avengers and throughout her time in the MCU, she's always had someone else to lean on. Yeah. Whether it was her brother, whether it was the Avengers, whether it was Vision, Hawkeye or Vision. And it just shows that now that she doesn't have that adult supervision, how is she going to develop? And this was her...
You could arguably say without that supervision, though, she could be a bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She was originally a bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's just when you look at that where... and I kind of feel weird saying that, but I feel like her character is constantly being tied to other characters, and that might be for good reason, because she is so powerful that
could just be the product of the time. Her character was made though, because women in comics, that's kind of what their role was. They had to be tied
to a male.
Yeah, they had very little agency of their own. So maybe you might be right.
Yeah, because I'm looking at her history within just the MCU. It's just her being tied to these other characters, and now her being off by herself, but also within the last phase or two, seeing just how powerful she is. I think that she might be not just a central role or a central part of this phase 4, but might be a main villain.
Agatha said she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
I put that in my notes because I was like, is she saying she's more powerful than like the average generic Sorcerer Supreme, or is she saying she's more powerful than Stephen Strange?
Yeah,
those are two different things.
Yeah, because I
was like, you got to put some respect on Doctor Strange's name. Come on now, I think I don't know,
and I think that might come to a head in Multiverse of Madness because she's supposed to be in that movie as well. And I'm just like, if anybody who has the power to kind of neutralize her, because we've already seen like a fraction, like that was before she even took on Agatha's power. Like she was creating the hex, and she was creating like a new reality. But I think if anybody has the power to be able to like stop her if she goes rogue, that would have to be Doctor Strange, because he's the only one who has experience and skill in that type of art form.
Do you think she's more powerful than him?
Because I'm want to like start comparing, like I feel like it's just gonna come down to like the stones, because then you have like the Mind Stone, not the Mind Stone.
He doesn't have the Mind. He doesn't have the Time Stone anymore.
Oh yeah, because it got replaced.
Yeah,
man, I'm thinking about that now. I would still go with Doctor Strange just because he's more technical and yeah, man, he's a tactician. But he's more experienced as far as.
So was Agatha though.
He's more experienced, but he's also like, I feel like he's more disciplined. Like we see that Wanda is prone to making rash decisions.
But we saw she was reading that book at the end, so maybe she is practicing. That's a scary sight. Oh, a Scarlet Witch that knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I would still go with Doctor Strange.
I want to go with Doctor Strange,
but if she continues to grow and like kind of solidify her knowledge, because that's what Agatha said. She's like, you have all this power, but you have no knowledge on how to use it. And
I was expecting like somebody to help, and like kind of like a Deus Ex Machina, where somebody would come in and like help her clean it up, or like a Doctor Strange, or there was a few plot threads that just didn't. Maybe I wasn't watching it right, but I feel like they did tease some stuff that just didn't happen. Like, oh, I know what was it? I know a physicist or something.
Yeah,
everybody was saying it was Mr. Fantastic.
Oh,
and that's the stuff that Marvel does. They put in stuff that know when people are going to talk about it,
and then they just like subvert those expectations, because you're like, oh man, like I'm expecting Doctor Strange, or I'm expecting Dr. Reed to come in, and also it's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about Vision, because we talked a little bit about what Wanda's gonna do after this. Well, let's talk about Vision, because that paradox. You know what? In hindsight, I should have saw it coming. Oh, he's gonna do that whole robot paradox thing to like trick him out. But technically, now we have our version of Vision is back.
And we were talking about that. I truly thought they were gonna bring back Vision, because like they set that up in the phase before when they were saying, well, he's not just the stone. He's a culmination of so many other things that makes him him. And it's not just the wires and like the data that's been imprinted into him. It's like his experiences, like he's continued to learn.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that they showed in the last episode when we had the Vision that was created by
the White Vision.
Yeah, the White Vision versus, which is like the actual physical Vision, versus the Vision that was created by Wanda, when they're talking and they're having that really good conversation about if the ship is rebuilt, or which is I think it's Odysseus' ship.
If you take the rot out of the ship, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
like it's like if you replace every single plank in that ship, is it the same ship that so and so built? Versus if you just clean away the rot that was, or the damage that was from that ship, is it still the ship? And it's like that element of old and new. So that one White Vision, that is the Vision that was built by Tony Stark. That's the Vision that was built by Bruce Banner, that was infiltrated by Ultron. This is the Vision that is a culmination of all those things, plus his own experiences, plus his relationship with Wanda, and that's what makes him him. That's why he's the true Vision, in my opinion, because he has all those experiences that makes him a human.
I was expecting him to help at the end, but he kind of flew off. So I was like, what? Because he have the memories of the actual Vision? So like, what did he want to help?
I think that I think that Wanda created not only the Vision that she knew, she almost created a more
romanticized,
romanticized, like her perfect version of her husband.
I wouldn't say perfect version though, because we saw that they did argue and they did. I think that was actually,
but I think that that's why she had him arguing with him. The true Vision would not let her just run amok. He would just be like, you got to change this.
I think they touched upon it a little bit in the TV show, but I think the Mind Stone might have imprinted on Wanda a little bit.
That's why I was wondering.
That's what I thought. That's why I think that yellow light was like, that was probably the Mind Stone.
Yeah, I think that the doctors, when they showed her memory of being experimented on, they were saying that the Mind Stone, there was some element of the Mind Stone in her, and that's why I'm like, when you asked me the question about her versus Doctor Strange, I'm like, well, if Doctor Strange doesn't have the stone, but she has some element or even a fraction of the Mind Stone's power, that makes her significantly powerful than most other people. But yeah, I just think that as far as the Vision moving forward, I think they're going to find a way, because obviously at the end of the last episode, Wanda's Vision versus the real Vision, which is the white one, he imprinted those memories back into him. So now he's like, oh, this is what I remember. I can remember what happened to me.
He remembers dying twice.
Yeah. I would be like, yo, can you edit that out, bro? I'm not even trying to think about that.
We'll fix that in post.
Yeah, fix that in post. Edit that out, please. Cut that.
For real.
But I think that does that does a lot going towards bringing him back into the fold, because now that you have this. And that brings up the question, like you said, did she learn her lesson if that Vision comes back?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there has to be some type of theme or lesson or something, because that's just how stories are. But that Vision is back. I feel like, yes, Vision is alive, but it's going to be like, he's going to be tweaked a little bit.
He has to be.
So it's like, he's not going. He probably still loves Wanda, but like, he won't be around. It's more like they're broken up at this point.
They're gonna take a break.
They probably are on a break, because why wouldn't he go back to her and like immediately?
Yeah, because they like just showed him fly off, and he was just
that's what I'm saying. That's why I thought he was gonna come back towards the end, but I don't know, man. That's why I'm thinking like they're something is going on.
To be fair, if you die twice, you probably need to take some time off for a little bit. You gotta unpack it. Like, bro, what just happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I'm glad.
Watch your husband die maybe like 3 or 4 times.
That's
I
true.
lost count now.
After a while, I was like, bro, how many times they gonna kill this dude?
Yeah. He's fucking Kenny at this point.
South Park material. But I definitely enjoyed the fact that he came back, because I predicted that at the beginning. I'm like, they're gonna find a way.
Well, they did so much with his character with this show, whereas like, if you didn't care about Vision in the first place, after watching this show, it's like he was like, all right, I kind of want this guy to come back now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a shame they killed him, but hopefully they bring him back.
Yeah, especially when he's like, I really enjoyed his moments, like from the memories he had with Wanda, especially when I think Agatha was taking her back to when.
Oh, what is grief but love persevering?
Yeah.
Oh, Twitter had
a field day. Had a field day.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
But I definitely think that they did. It's almost like I'm gonna make a cross-textual or cross-cultural analysis, but like the same way I feel about like the prequels for Star Wars, like where if I see Anakin Skywalker become Darth Vader, it makes me care about that character more. It's the same way I feel about Vision. If I can see how, because I feel like they did such a time jump in Phase 3, where it's just like it went from them being like all close, like yeah they're cool, to them all of a sudden just being in love.
That's what I talked about in my last review of it. Like, I was like, so we're kind of just expected to believe they're dating or whatever, because like we know it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
But like, we never really saw that.
But I think that that's what they did a good job of, is going back and showing that like he was the one that was there for her which also leads back to the question, why is she always tied to another person? But yeah, I think they did a good job of showing that like they had to actually build that relationship, and he was the one that was there for her, and he was the one that was, there to pick up the pieces after she lost everything. Mm-hmm. Which explains why she broke apart so much when he was killed, when he was broken to pieces.
Go to therapy. I know she got money.
Yeah, you got money. Go to therapy, man.
Go to therapy. I'm playing. No, I'm not playing. Go to therapy.
Go to therapy. Do that.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about what happened to Agatha then. Because I feel like that was some cruel shit she did.
That's the part. It was like, I didn't like that part of the episode.
I thought that was like some borderline. All right, so you kind of are. You're kind of in your villain bag right there.
You're going into anti-hero territory here. Like, we're straying real close to that line.
Yeah, I was like, so I get you're not going to kill her. I mean, I don't think you have a problem killing her, but I guess you don't want to kill her now. And I don't know. I feel like that's like a cruel thing. Like you seen what that shit does to other people. It was like a prison in the mind.
Oh my god!
I was like, you could have just left her. Like you took her magic.
Like you took all her powers. So like
you could have just left her like in an actual prison or like in that bubble. Yeah. But like I don't know. But she did say you're gonna need me for something. So what do you think that is? Any predictions?
I don't necessarily have a prediction for what exactly she's going to need Agatha's training for, but I know Agatha served as somewhat of a mentor in the magic for the comic books.
Because I don't think, throughout the show, I don't think Agatha lied to her at all. No. So I'm thinking like, you're actually going to need her eventually. Yeah. I don't think Agatha is a liar per se.
I think, outside of her creating, this kind of, not her, but personally, but like outside of her kind of feeding into Wanda's hex, I think that she truly does obviously she wanted the power that Wanda had, but I truly think that she wants Wanda to understand more about herself, more about her power than she already does. And that's where I kind of get like in a place of like, where exactly does she fit into it? Because I look at Agatha and I'm just like, in the comic books, she serves as somewhat of a mentor, and I think that Wanda, especially where we see her path going, she's going towards more of an anti-hero, like I said, or villainous path. I think she's going to need to actually understand her power to truly be a hero, and I don't think that she can do that without Agatha.
I don't know if she's going to be a hero.
You don't think she's going to be a hero?
Did you see the look she was serving at the end of the episode? That's not a heroic look. I don't know. I'm not saying full-on villain, but I don't know. Because throughout the episode, when like everybody got their mind, she was like, "Oh, you're okay. You're okay. You're fine." And I'm like, "Are you listening to them right now?" Yeah. I was like, "Oh, she actually thinks she's doing the right thing, and like she didn't cause any problems." And so I'm thinking like she could play that villain role, but think she's doing the right thing. Because I saw that episode where I was like, "No, you're fine. You're fine." I was like, "Bitch, no."
And it's like, because and at the end of the episode, I actually, that was one of the funniest moments to me, is that like she kept on trying to act like these people weren't in a prison, and I just appreciate the fact that as soon as like she shut down the hex officially, and she was walking past all these people she had been keeping in prison for months, everybody gave her the exact same look, like, we should jump you, but we're gonna lose, so we're not going to.
They ain't crazy.
Yeah, they're not crazy, but
ooh, if I had some
powers.
Oh, give me an Iron Man suit. I'm on your ass.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like Agatha's going to have to play a larger role in her at least understanding how to be a better witch. Because she doesn't even know what this like prophecy and this stuff is yet.
Yeah, if you think about it, this is a long week for Wanda. Because this is right out of Endgame. And like from Wanda's point of view, this is like a week after Endgame. So from her point of view, she did Infinity War, then she fought in Endgame, and then she went through the grieving process. This is like I think this is like just a week separated. So it's like, God damn. For her, this is a long ass week.
It's a long day.
So it's like, oh my God. Take a few days off.
Just said, I'm immediately going to create a new reality.
I get it.
But I definitely think that Agatha's gonna play a bigger role later on when she's developing her skills. I think that Doctor Strange is going to be a key role.
I wouldn't be surprised if with Agatha they do like a Hannibal Lecter type thing where it's like she goes and like
yeah, like a couple movies later it's just like she's gonna pull up with the spit mask on.
You left me alone with my thoughts.
Oh my god. Let's talk about for a second. That is probably like one of like the worst like fates in MCU history. Like right now,
it's fucked up.
Yeah, like because you hear about all these people like talking. Like there was one lady that ran up to her after like she got her thoughts back, and she was like, "Don't like tell my husband don't come here. He's on a business trip. Don't tell him to come here." Like don't say like. And then the other chick was like, "Can you just let my daughter out of the room?" Like I was just like, "What? Oh my
that's
god.
Crazy! You're telling me that character's not allowed to have a daughter, so you kept it in the room, and she still had to say it's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's fine."
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, do you realize how much trauma you force these people through? And then they said like
you can't just snap that away.
Yeah, they said like your grief is poisoning us, and I'm just like, jeez, Louise.
Oh, when he said when we go to sleep or something, or when you let us sleep, we have your nightmares.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, this is terrifying.
And her nightmares have to be terrible.
Yeah.
She's seen some shit.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's why I'm like, oh, she has to be a villain. Because that shit's not okay.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like you can't do all that and then like expect. That's my thing. Like, how do you think from a world building point of view, how you think this is gonna affect her standing within like the MCU world, like that universe?
I think she's gonna. Well, she's definitely not part of the Avengers.
Oh yeah, you gotta get kicked out after that.
If there's even the Avengers right now, she's not a part of it. So I think she's off doing her own thing, just practicing magic now, and then we keep going back to Doctor Strange. What if we was like she's only in the movie for 2 minutes or something?
I'm gonna be disappointed. But I just think that you're gonna have to put her up against Doctor Strange. I think she's got a lot of power right now. She's obtained a lot of power, and I think you're gonna immediately need somebody to humble her.
But I was scrolling through YouTube and like somebody did mention like there's a lot of magic stuff going on. You're telling me Stephen Strange doesn't feel this?
Yeah, he's like somewhere
not a disturbance because that's probably like a week. Like you're telling me for a week, like it's in Jersey. I think Westview was like in Jersey or something. The Sanctum Sanctorum is in New York. That's probably an hour drive away.
You told me Wong didn't say, "Whoa, hold on, wait a minute."
Yeah, just have Wong show up.
Even if Doctor Strange doesn't know what's going on, Wong knows something going on.
Yeah, I thought a Wong cameo or like a Benedict Cumberbatch was gonna show up or something.
But yeah, it's just like I feel like it's.
Oh, who was Mordo Barrymore? That would have been cool if he showed up. He was like no more. That's another Marvel plot thread that really that happened like 5 years ago, and it like really just happened yet. Nothing happened with that.
I think they're eventually gonna do that because I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what other Phase 4 movies involving Doctor Strange are happening.
I think just
Multiverse of Madness.
Was he supposed to be in that new Spider-Man movie? I don't know. There's so many rumors around that movie. It's hard to keep track of.
I don't know if they actually have the real name yet. Like they've been
it's called
something Home.
No Way Home.
It was like No Way Home. I saw that. And
but the real one is called No Way Home.
It's really No Way Home.
Yeah, but no, when they were trolling you, that shit was. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, bro, I'm getting caught up in the promotion now. Like, there's too much going on.
As a marketing major, that shit was beautiful.
It's like it was a thing of beauty to watch.
Yeah. That college degree I don't use. That's for my therapist.
That's my therapist to unpack. But yeah, I think that she's gonna become really powerful. That's my thing. That's one of my main predictions. She's gonna come back hella powerful, and they're gonna need somebody magical to come back and humble her. To be like, yo, you can't do this to people. You can't act like this because you were an Avenger.
I just think it's crazy. Like, we had all these theories for, the X-Men, blah, blah. Like, no, it's just none of that is happening. I hope you enjoyed the show, though. I was like, oh, that's fair.
It was a good show, to be fair.
Show. I was like, you didn't promise us any of that, but I am.
I guess I'll accept.
Yeah. Let me take a look at my notes real quick, then. You talked about Quicksilver. Okay, so plans moving forward for Phase 4. You think this is going to have any effect on, like, say, like a Falcon and Winter Soldier at all? I don't think it will. It's more. I think with Falcon and Winter Soldier, it will go back to like what we know with the whole action movie villain shit.
Because they I forgot who was it, whether it was Kevin Feige or who, that was saying there's going to be multiple threats to the MCU, so they're going to have kind of like a celestial slash mystical threat versus more terrestrial threats to Earth. I think that since we've seen like more of a mystical threat or a mystical side of the MCU, they're gonna go right back to being like terrestrial. Like, hey,
I think this was a really personal story. So I do think Phase 4 hopefully is gonna be like just more personal down back stuff, because with this story, it wasn't the fate of the world or like a city. Well, maybe it was a city.
It was the fate of a family.
So that was heavy. Yo, you might be on to something. That was pretty heavy. But yeah, I think it is going to be dialed back. So maybe Falcon and Winter Soldier is not going to be like the fate of the country.
Can I just see them beat up some more Nazis? I'm fine with that.
I think we're going to get that.
Yeah, I'm fine with them watching them beat up more Nazis. That's okay with me.
Yeah. I really don't see this affecting anything going forward.
So WandaVision or like other
shows,
other
besides
shows,
like a Doctor Strange, I don't see it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to affect the MCU, but
well, it already has. We have Vision back.
Yeah, but as far as other shows, I don't think it's going to really affect the Falcon and Winter Soldier. But
so is Sword the new Shield? Are we just gonna get like, instead of like a Samuel L. Jackson cameo, we got Monica Rambeau?
That's the thing. Like, that's the thing that's kind of annoying me with it, is like I feel like they haven't shown enough transition like from one thing to another. Just like, well, this is here now. And
you already know there's gonna be like a comic or a TV show that's gonna explain.
Yeah, and I know, and that's the part that gets me. It's like, I know you're gonna explain this later on, but I want to know now why this is a thing and it wasn't a thing before.
Well, they told you now how they make their money.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah,
but it's like I know it's probably not gonna affect the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't think it's gonna really. It's probably only gonna affect Doctor Strange. I don't think it's really gonna affect.
There's really no other magic.
Blade. I don't know.
He does magic. He necessarily does magic, but there's magic in the Blade movie. That'd be funny. Is Blade even rated R? Did they announce that?
No, they announced that they weren't gonna have any like.
Oh, that'd be funny
armor.
As hell though. You know what? No, I was thinking of fucking Wesley Snipes' Blade. That's why I thought that should be funny. No, it's Mahershala Ali. All right, it's less funny, but I'll still.
And that's my thing. Like with some stories, if we're going on a little tangent, like some stories they have to be told in rated R. I feel like Blade is one of those stories that has to be told in rated R.
Not necessarily. It's just vampires.
It's vampires, bro. But Wesley Snipes.
I think Wesley Snipes.
He made that movie rated R.
I think he said motherfucker once, and I was like, oh yeah.
I needed that. I needed that.
There's something about black men just saying motherfucker. I just think, it's like, goddamn, all right.
We got a mother before he disappeared. Nick Fury before he got snapped away.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Low key, we haven't seen Nick Fury yet.
We saw. Oh yeah,
that was Phase 3, Spider-Man.
Phase 4. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen him yet since.
Was what the scroll was referring to? You think that was Nick Fury, or you thought that might have been referring to somebody else? Because she was like, he heard you've been grounded. You think she was talking about Nick Fury?
I'm debating,
or like her husband, like the other scroll.
I'll take a conservative guess that was Nick Fury, just because he did know her mom, and he was like, hey, well, You were snapped away, but hey, you're back. You're back in business now. Let's call you back up to the big leagues.
I think we're gonna see a lot of space stuff,
Which I'm not sure if I'm ready for.
I feel like we're gonna get like some type of version of the Ultimates or something, where it's like they're in space and they're fighting space villains, like protecting Earth. I wouldn't be surprised. That might not be until Phase 5 though, but they might be setting it up.
It's like I sometimes I get like celestial fatigue. Like, why is everything not why is everything, but like sometimes when you have so many threats that are always about, oh, this is the fate of the universe, you get kind of like worn out. Whereas like sometimes I just like watching Spider-Man beat a guy that wants to rob a bank. Like sometimes that's like a good, not even a palate cleanser. That's just a good story to watch.
That's why I kind of roll my eyes every time I hear more about that new Spider-Man movie, because it's like, oh my god, I hope they don't do a Spider-Verse, because we already have a perfectly good Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
And like we have yet to see Spider-Man do just like Spider-Man
stuff. He's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Like, I guess in the first one he did Spider-Man stuff, but like the second two, it was like, all right, he's fighting like what is he, like a not an illusionist? That's what he is in the comics, but he's fighting a disgruntled employee in Paris, and he has like drones. It's like, no, put him in New York and have him fight villains in New York. Make it personal.
Make it personal.
Like, bro, he's fighting.
This man's trying to close down the bodega, man. You gotta get at him.
Like, make it Hey Arnold. Spider-Man.
I'm not gonna lie, that's funny.
That's all it is.
It's Hey Arnold with superpowers.
Peter Parker's just Hey Arnold with superpowers. Write that down. Retweet. Oh shit! I might put that on the TikTok. Marketing.
Good marketing. But yeah, like you get fatigued from so many like celestial threats, especially when you know half of these the superheroes can't. Like, we knew for a fact going in, half of the roster, not even half of the roster, more than half of the roster could not take Thanos 1-on-1. So why are we always like putting them up against?
It's
Thanos?
Actually funny because looking back on Infinity War, there was a lot of shit that had to go right for Thanos to win.
You think so?
Think about it. Like, because we saw in Endgame when he didn't have like any of the stones, how like when he did fight somebody 1-on-1, he potentially got flexed. Captain Marvel taxed his ass. Then we have Wanda. She's like, yo! She's like, jump! Yeah. And then I like maybe Thor could probably take him too without the gems or the stones or whatever. I'm assuming, because we saw Thor fight him when he already had the Power Stone, and that's, I think in the movies it's already stated, like, you only need one stone. Like, all 6 is just overkill.
He came in and he had something to prove.
Yeah, so.
But I think it goes to show though, like, as a villain, why Thanos was so powerful, because it wasn't his physical power, even though dude was strong.
No, he was strong enough to beat the shit out of the Hulk.
Yeah, he's physically strong, but his mental, like,
but I'm just saying, like, looking back on it, a lot of shit had to go right for that plan to work. Because what if he landed on Earth and he just met Wanda immediately? That's all I'm saying. Or Vision was the first person he met. But no, he got lucky. He got the Power Stone first. And then he killed Loki, and then, you know what I'm saying?
That's like you say he's lucky, but like he had to
I understand the movie has to move.
But he had to take out Xandar. He literally had to land there and
that's
take out
not that
Xandar.
hard when he has his own army that's with the shits.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that as we move like away from WandaVision, I think that I want terrestrial threats as a palate cleanser. I don't want to see any more. It's not that I don't want to see any more. I don't want to see a lot of mystical / celestial threats for at least like a mini series or two. Like, I need a palate cleanser. I need to watch, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier beat up some Nazis. I need to see Blade maybe dice up some vampires. I need a palate cleanser.
I feel that. That's I think they did say, like, oh, Phase 4 isn't gonna have like a big villain. It's just gonna be story, and I'm okay with that.
I can deal with that, because then you can start building up a big bad for Phase 5.
And I think they said they are saving X-Men for like somewhere further down the line. I'm not okay with that. I want that shit.
I want it now.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. Give me something, Reed Richards or
Honestly,
Professor Xavier cameo or something. Just give me a bald dude in a wheelchair. It doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even have to be Professor Xavier, but you know the internet's gonna talk.
Give me a bald dude in a wheelchair.
But you know the internet's gonna internet.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think that definitely after this series, give us a couple palate cleansers to kind of like watch, digest this. Let us watch some Nazis get knocked out. Let us watch some vampires get diced up. And then I forgot the name. Was it Shang something?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. That person. I want to watch that movie as well because I've never. I
need hands being that. I need that to be just hands.
just people getting beat up. Just these
Bare
right here.
knuckles.
I don't need a stone. I got these.
Fucking. I'm gonna beat your ass.
That's basically it, bro. Which is why I enjoyed watching Infinity Wars. It wasn't for the snapping. It was for these right here.
Oh, that fight at the end game gave me energy. That shit. Let's kill him properly this time.
Oh yeah. So I was like, bro, he's got something on his mind.
Thor has something to prove.
He said, I couldn't get you last time. I'm gonna get you this time.
That motherfucker was like, last time I killed him, it didn't do anything.
When you think about that, that's really how like a bunch of like the characters felt. Like after they killed him in the beginning of Endgame, I should say, they're like, oh man, well everybody's still gone. But then like after they killed him in the end of Endgame, they had lost Tony, they had lost other people.
What did it cost?
Yeah, they're just sitting there like, bro, like. Why is
did
that
they lose other people? I feel like they only lost Tony.
Oh,
and Steve technically, but he's just
Tony, Steve, and Scarlett. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. I forgot.
So like, he said, "Bro, I forgot." She sure did die.
Yeah, that's funny.
But that's literally like they're like every time we beat this guy, we don't feel accomplished. It's like we had to lose so much to do it.
There's also a theory like the stones, like you can't truly destroy them. They're going to reform somewhere in the universe.
Well, yeah, because it's like that's the essence of the universe.
Yeah, so it's like, oh damn.
Well, it's like I think that's what WandaVision kind of talked about. Even though the Mind Stone is gone, it's still like a version of it is in Wanda. So it's like it's
energy
not really
can't
gone.
Be created or destroyed.
Only can transfer its form.
Yeah. So I think that was about it. You got anything else to say though?
Follow me on TikTok at JMBowie97. Stingley's also going to be on there. Follow his TikTok. I hope you guys are drinking a lot of water. I hope that you're having a great time in life, and I hope you accomplish all your dreams.
All right, and you can follow my YouTube at Sting Sama. Also, I have a podcast on Spotify and Apple called Plot Armor, and you can also follow me on Twitter at Sting Sama. All right, signing off. Be good people.